Welcome. This is Listening Experience 101. We are going to look at a number of different recordings this year based on the Hornbostel Sax music categorization system. There are 5 different categories. Idiophones, where the body of the instrument itself vibrates to produce sound. Membranophones, where you have a tightly stretched membrane that vibrates. Chordophones, where the vibration of a string causes sound. Aerophones, where vibrating air is what produces the sound. And electrophones, where you have an electrical current or electric action or amplification that produces sound. We're going to start out by looking at idiophones. And the first one we're going to look at is the castanets. Castanets are typically played with a person's hands. They will hold a pair of these in each hands, and their one set is really called a castanet. So 4 individual pieces makes up 2 sets or 2 castanets. Nobody really knows where they came from because they've shown up in so many ancient civilizations, from Spanish to Greek to Roman. They've been around a very long time. They sound like clickety clackety. You've probably heard them before. It's a pretty common. So there's 2 castanets in a typical set. One is higher pitched than the other one. When you are looking at these different classification systems, idiophones, the body of the instrument itself is what vibrates to produce the sound. So if you hit the instrument itself with something, that's what makes the noise. Okay, castanets are most often associated with Spanish music because of the fandango and flamenco dancing and things like that. Traditionally, they're made out of hardwood, like rosewood or oak or ebony or something. But they can be made out of a number of different materials. Just use your imagination. Hardwood are the most common, like traditional castanets. The flamenco dancing is where you'd mostly hear them. If you've ever seen that, like the music from the opera Carmen, that's a good example. Another name that they commonly get called in folk music, they call them clackers. So if you see castanets in some other form, you might hear them that way. And they're made of a number of different things. There are, believe it or not, there are orchestral concertos written where castanets is the solo instrument. That would be hard to sit through, if you ask me, but it's a thing. So let's take a look for a quick second at this little video on how to play castanets.
These are castanets. They are a Spanish instrument that are used in some folkloric dances, some classical dances, and even some flamenco dances. They're an instrument which of course are held on the finger with a cord or string. For some folkloric dances, they're held in the middle finger. For most classical and other folkloric and flamenco dances, they're held on the thumb. They're shell-like, carved out in the middle, held together very tightly with a string. The right castanet is called the maja, or the female. She's 1/3 higher in pitch than the left castanet, who's called the macho, the male. The right castanet is the melody, and she's played with 4 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. The left castanet is the beat, the macho, and he's played with 1 or 2 fingers. In order to get 1 carretilla, or 1 row, it takes 5 sounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When we put them together, we get this sound.
All right, now that you're a pro at playing castanets, Let's listen to this is a kind of a Spanish pop tune called Zarango. All right, so that is basically how our weekly listening experiences will go. You can do these on your own time. I will put them on Schoology every Monday, and they're due every Friday. And if you miss one, don't worry about it. You can turn them in late. But it's easier if you just keep up on them. Next week, we will look at sleigh bells. Yes, they are a musical instrument. Depends on how you play them, I guess. See you next time. Bye bye.